Yo, what is up NBA basketball fans? Alright, so in my last video I talked about 5 players who I believe had the best chance of winning MVP in the upcoming season. And since the NBA season is coming up pretty quickly, I decided to keep with the trend of making predictions for next season. So in this video I will be going over the 3 teams who I believe will improve the most this season. The Orlando Magic have been making some pretty interesting moves recently. It all started at the trade deadline last year when they traded J. Cole, aka Tobias Harris, to the Pistons for Ersan Ilyasova and Brandon Jennings. Us Pistons fans, you know, would like to, that actually looked kind of good there. But yeah, we'd like to thank you for that. Then they followed that up with another interesting trade. During the NBA draft, they traded Kehinde Bababunte, aka Victor Oladipo, along with Ersan Ilyasova for Serge Ibaka. What? When they traded J. Cole to the Pistons to pair him up with Bobby Shmurda to make the best rap duo in the history of basketball, I thought it was gonna be to give Kunta Kinte some more room to develop. But now he gone too. What makes it even worse is when you look at both of those trades combined. Like I said, they got Ersan Ilyasova. Basically that's all they got since Jennings left in the offseason for J. Cole. And then they traded Ersan Ilyasova along with Kunta Kinte for Serge Ibaka. So basically they gave up J. Cole and Kunta Kinte and got back Serge Ibaka. On paper, that is 2 fat L's. But now that I take a closer look at the Orlando Magic, now that things have settled down in the offseason, you know, they might have proven the theory that if you take 2 L's and combine them together, if one of them is backwards, you get a W. The Orlando Magic just might have ended up with a W. Sure, they lost a lot of talent. They still had Nikola Vucevic, Elfrid Payton, Evan, don't Google my last name, Mario Hezonja, and the man who I think will be a star in the future, Aaron Gordon. So they still do have quite a bit of young talent. Plus they added some nice veteran talent in the offseason, like of course Serge Ibaka, DJ Augustine, Jeff Green, Jody Meeks, and Bismack I Wanna Be Mutombo. So now they have a nice balance of young players along with some pretty seasoned veterans. And one of the strengths I do see in this team is their flexibility, especially in the front court. They have the ability to go big, they have the ability to go small, they have the ability to focus more on defense. If they need more offense, they can do that. For defense, they can put Bismack I Wanna Be Mutombo along with Serge Ibaka in the front line. That's a pretty nice defensive 1-2 punch. And if they need more offense, they can go like small or something like with Vucevic at center. They can move Aaron Gordon to power forward, bring in either like Jeff Green, Mario Hezonja, Jody Meeks off the bench, play him with Fournier plus Payton. They have versatility, but one of the things they might not have is enough offense. Let's take a look at their projected starting 5 for next season. To start, you have Elfrid Payton, a point guard that if he had to choose between shooting the ball or actually being shot would end up in the ER. You have Evan Fournier. He's a good young shooting guard, but if you're relying on him to carry your offense, you're not gonna get far at all. You've got Serge Ibaka, who's not gonna give you anything more than a couple of pick and pops, and maybe he'll hit the occasional corner 3. Nikola Vucevic, who was an extremely talented offensive big man. But let's be honest here. Let's keep it real for a minute. You're not gonna get far with a big man as your #1 option unless their name is Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, or Cripple McStingus. Which leaves us with Aaron Gordon, a man who I believe will be their best player in a couple of years and who will have a breakout season this year. But I'll talk more about him when I make a prediction video for the most improved player, which I think it'll be him. Dang, it just kind of spoiled that video. Offensively, they're a very challenged team, but which isn't bad because if you look who their coach is, their coach Frank Vogel is used to dealing with offensively limited teams. He used to be the head coach for the Indiana Pacers, and the Pacers outside of PG-13 could not score the ball to save their lives. Disappointment. Absolute disappointment. That's the only thing that comes to my mind when I think of the Milwaukee Bucks last season. They went from one of the biggest turnarounds in NBA history when they turned from like 17, I think, to like 40 or 41 wins the next season to back down to where they were last season, back to a lottery team. This year, I think they're gonna bounce back again. Last year, their trouble was offense. They could not score. They had one of the best defenses in the NBA, but it didn't matter if the other team couldn't score because neither could the Bucks, even if the other team wasn't playing defense at all. They have one of the brightest young players. I don't think I have ever seen a player like him, Giannis Antetokounmpo. His nickname is one of the few nicknames in the NBA that actually suits him because he is a freak of nature. What kind of player is 6'11" and can do the things he does? He gets down the entire court in like 3 steps. The thing that the Bucks needed the most was some outside shooting desperately. Outside of Chris Middleton and I guess Jared Bayless, who was injured for most of the season anyways, no one in the Bucks could shoot at all. And I'm expecting huge shooting improvements from both Jabari Parker and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Combine that with the fact that they added Matthew Ankle-Cypher Dellavedova as well as Amir Zatelevich, two very low-key Bucks. Great signings for the Milwaukee Bucks this offseason. And their new rookie, what's his name? Thon Maker. Thon Maker. He actually might be pretty good. The Bucks did improve a lot this offseason. Giannis Antetokounmpo is gonna be their main ball handler, so they didn't really need a ball-dominant point guard. And Matthew Dellavedova is perfect for that. You know, he's like Patrick Beverly, where he's just gonna basically fill in the point guard spot. He can play defense and hit the spot up three. The only thing I can really see holding the Milwaukee Bucks back is if they just flat out suck again. I don't see that happening. I know. Every single year since Kevin Love, and people have been saying this is Minnesota's time to shine. Well, if it does not happen this year, it may never happen. They are running out of excuses to be a lottery team. Karl Anthony Towns has already proven that he's gonna be a superstar, and so has Andrew Wiggins. But on top of that, they still have Zach LaVine, who I think will be an all-star caliber player at some point in his career. And they're probably gonna trade Ricky Rubio for another serviceable player because they don't need Ricky Rubio, and he's just been injured. You have Zach LaVine, you have Andrew Wiggins, and you have Karl Anthony Towns. Yo, that is one of the best young cores in the NBA today. This has to be the years the Timberwolves become a relevant team in the NBA. There you guys have it, the three teams who I believe will improve the most this season. Comment down below if you think any of these teams will improve or the team that you think will improve the most this season. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, then make sure to smack the like button on that video. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more NBA videos. Until next time, remember to keep giving the Bucks team SDC, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace!